about the title Bundy Manor makes me not want to go there. I don't know. Uh, I'll have to ask Ted if that's a good place to go to. Anyway, no, this movie has nothing to do with that. Instead, the IMDb plot says when a family moves to a small town, they discover an extreme haunted house run by a charming retired surgeon. Extreme haunted house surgeon. Okay. Things start getting out of hand when they realize he is going too far. All right, is he really going too far? I don't know. We'll just have to see. All right. So apparently, this movie just recently came out. Even though I did get a screener to it, so I know it's out there. So still, since it's new, I'll keep this spoiler free as possible. Um, yeah, I and this one I had didn't know too much about, so kind of got this as a screener along with another one. So um, had very little known about it or expectations for this one going into it. So, what is it about? Yeah, it is basically what it says here. You have a family here who has moved into a new home, and sometimes you never know who your neighbors are going to be. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it does not, and here it does not. They meet a guy here who is also married, and he's doing nothing much these days but running a haunted house, which is a little odd. I don't know if he runs it all the time, like all year long or whatever. But I guess it is the time of year or whatever that he's running this house. So he's going at it now. So in the beginning of the movie, it almost sets up like a typical horror movie because you see some bad stuff happening, but then you find out that it is just part of this haunted house. And one of the things he's doing also is making it pretty extreme as mentioned, but also then apparently sharing the videos on a YouTube channel and TikTok and all that, those kind of Instagrams and all those kind of things that everybody's doing, trying to get hits and views and all that kind of thing. So, the more extreme it is the better, and the more real it is, the better. So that's kind of what he's got going here, and apparently it is loud and distracting, and this family who has moved in nearby is having a hard time sleeping because of that. And that doesn't make the two families here get along too quick, even though the surgeon is trying to be really nice. They have their ups and downs and moments, but at the end of the day, he's trying to be nice about it. But yeah, he's whatever they want, he's just not willing. He's gonna do the haunted house no matter what, and that's that. Kind of as this unfolds, you kind of see that. And what you would expect is that he is going to much further lengths to kind of make this haunted house happen and make it more real and make it more scary. And he is a definitely a surgeon and definitely a bad person. So as charming as he tries to be in front of people and in front of this new family and even in front of some of the customers and so forth, at the end of the day, he is a bad person. So you're definitely going to get the two sides of him, maybe a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde, if you want to say that. So he definitely has something else going on there. I don't want to dive too much into that because that kind of reaches into spoiler territory. But he is definitely doing some bad stuff to help, I guess, enhance his haunted house here. And you kind of get taken into some of that. He does even challenge the dad here that says, hey, if you can go through here and basically, well, I think it was not get scared or whatever, then he'll shut it down, for the season or whatever, and the family can be at peace. But he drags the dad in and does some bad stuff that freaks out the dad, and dad is just like, okay, we're not having any of that. And on top of it, his teenage daughter wants to work in this haunted house, which doesn't make the dad or the mom happy here, especially after he goes through this little extreme challenge. So, um, you know that that only means one thing is that, yeah, the daughter's eventually going to get involved. So, I don't want to say too much more because I know that, the movie has been recently released, but I know, maybe you guys haven't seen it, so I don't want to dive too much into spoiler territory. But that's just the basics of the setup here. Um, I kind of, I guess I liked where they were going. I guess, I wanted to see, I guess, more out of the haunted house. I know that they do have some scenes where they try to make it seem like the people are scary or whatever, but it never really dives as much into it as I want, or it just seemed to be like a little bit more not your typical haunted house, more like an extreme kind of challenge thing. Even in the beginning, like I said, when they do that first kind of scenes of the thing, I thought almost it was one of these, fraternity hazing kind of things, challenge kind of things. So I thought it was a little bit more of that and not as much of a haunted house, or at least one that you would see. So if they would maybe have ventured a little bit more into the typical haunted house kind of thing and still kind of kept that extreme edge, maybe I would have, liked that a little bit more. Um, I definitely like what they were trying to do with the bad character, the surgeon here, and him going to the extremes. Again, I don't know that they went, far enough into it. There was, just a lot of talking going on at sometimes. Like I seen the challenge seems, were quick and so forth. Um, you know, the ones at the beginning, maybe if they could have maybe expanded on that later on. Um, I don't know. I guess I would have wanted more of that. There's a scene also in there where the dad's not there and he goes and he's talking with the wife and he kind of gets to know her and kind of gets her tries to get her on his side, and also kind of hints at their relationship not being good. So um, there's just things like that where, I would have maybe scratched some of that time out and gone more into the horror route of it. Not to say there isn't horror, there is. Like I said, there are those moments. And definitely this guy is a crazy guy. Um, Again, the ending, am I going to say it was a twist? Yeah, maybe, and maybe a little bit. I'm not going to say that I was necessarily looking for a twist or looking for certain things to happen or not. I was just kind of wading the water here and trying to see what was happening, and just kind of, where the family fit in and where this family was going to go with the story. Obviously, you're just kind of waiting for that moment when once they have that young daughter and the possibilities of her either working there or even going to be entertained there, you kind of are just waiting for that moment to happen because that it's going to be the moment where things really are going to take the turn. And so they will try to keep you on your toes with that. I guess there is a little bit of a twist there if you want to say that. But what ultimately happens in the end, I don't know, is totally unexpected. Um, so yeah, it hits and misses. It has its good and its bad here. The acting is okay. That didn't bother me too much. Uh, um, but I don't know. I guess I guess they opened the doors to some things that maybe I wanted a little bit more. I'm a blood and guts guy, and I maybe wanted maybe a little bit more focused into the haunted house extreme thing, instead of a lot of the drama that's built up between the characters instead. But there are, it is going to have some moments for you guys in there. So with that, I'm going to give it two pools of blood. It's okay. Like I said, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was all right. Um, so yeah, hopefully you guys can include that in your watch here, for the October season, before it ends. I know it's coming to an end real quickly. But if not, you can still find the movie available, and hopefully you can squeeze it in because I know you guys trying to squeeze in a lot, especially with the last moments here. So With that, horrorreviews.blogspot.com is where you can find more of my reviews written in video. Definitely, if you're interested just in the video reviews, like, subscribe, do all those things that everybody wants you to do. If not, no worries, no problem. It's okay. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well if you want to reach out. If you do happen to catch this film, want to talk about it, or horror in general, or something you want me to review, feel free to hit me up there, or definitely in the comment section below. Feel free to reach out to me there as well. And if you see this movie, feel free to share your thoughts there as well. So again, that is 2 pools of blood, and that is out of 5 for this one. And I guess I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.